Franklin.
I was a scout. I was a Cub Scout. I completed my Arrow of Light, so that's as far as I went. My parents kind of indicated that I had to make a choice between sports and scouts because it was difficult to do both. So at that time I chose to play baseball, football, and basketball over scouting. Definitely something that I regret for sure. I'm a paving and concrete estimator. Not at all, not at all. I was a music education major in college, and I didn't complete college. I became a statistic, but then I got into, honestly, the legal field as a paralegal, and then made a switch and ended up in the paving industry. And what was cool is I started off as an inside salesperson, and it just got old. And I remember telling my employer, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. But I'd be interested in learning the outside sales estimator stuff, and so they gave me a chance, and the rest is history. I've now been doing it about 14 years. Scouting is my life. I mean, everyday life, it's the Scout Oath and Scout Law come into play. You know, just doing the right thing all the time at work. I really try to make sure I treat my customers well, and that I give them a fair price, fair customer service, do the right thing for them. And then at home, I try to do the right thing, and then, just helping others at all times. Adrian and I volunteer a lot in a lot of different areas, and so, being helpful to other people, I think, plays a big role in our lives too. As a dad, I remember I went on a patrol camp out with Justin out at Chickagami Park. And it was just about patrol bonding. All they did was play football and frisbee and goof around as a patrol, but it was fun for them. What was really cool about that is I got to bond with other adult leaders. And then as a ScoutMaster, my very first camp out as a ScoutMaster was to Gettysburg in October of 2019. And that was awesome, an awesome trip. And probably a real rewarding moment for that was when asked about it, one of our scouts said it was a top 5 camp out of all time. And so that was kind of a cool thing. But to get out and hike the battlefield and learn the history with the guys as my first camp out, that was a lot of fun. Work hard, do the right thing, own your mistakes, and then use your failures as steps to success. I think I've preached that a lot through ScoutMaster conferences and ScoutMaster minutes. It's okay to fail, and in fact, we're going to fail. But if you get up and use it as a step to your success, you'll do all right. my best. To be worthy of the office of Senior Patrol Leader.
To be worthy of the office of Senior Patrol Leader.
For the sake of my fellow scouts and my troop.
For the sake of my fellow scouts and my troop.
And in the World Brotherhood of Scouts.
And the World Brotherhood of Scouts.
Everyone, please join me in welcoming our new Senior Patrol Leader, Andrew Freeman.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
This month, we'll shine the Eagle spotlight on Brandon Lisk. Brandon was in the troop from 2012 through 2019 as a member of the Delta Patrol. During his time with the troop, Brandon camped over 200 nights and hiked more than 250 miles on the Appalachian Trail, which is where his favorite memory was born. After a day of hiking, the troop was chatting with some thru hikers who asked him if he liked cinnamon. Brandon replied, "Oh, I love cinnamon." What he didn't realize was that Cinnamon was the name of one of the female hikers in their group. Brandon says the scouting program taught him to be upfront and honest with people, to treat others with respect, and treat everyone fairly. As we open the book of McGee, Brandon says one thing that has stuck with him is when Mr. McGee would say, "Gentlemen, what are you doing?" He says that reminds him it's okay to make mistakes as long as you correct them and learn from them. When asked to offer some advice to our scouts, Brandon says, never give up on your dreams and always follow your gut instinct. Brandon Lisk, Troop 75, Eagle Scout.
Oh, stewardess.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Word.
When I'm done using a cast iron, the first thing you want to do, like this is a wooden tool, so it's not going to damage or scratch it. All you want to do is scrape any loose bits off. The enemy of cast iron is water. So rather than using water to clean it, we're going to put a little salt down. So the salt acts as an abrasive, while at the same time it's not doing any damage to the cooktop. And you can either use a paper towel or you can use a piece of foil that's put up into a little ball, also works. But we're gonna start pulling everything else off of this griddle top. In addition to that, we're also absorbing any water that's left. Same treatment for Dutch oven. You would scrape out any food particles that you have, and then I would put some salt in there and kind of scour it out a bit. Now that we're done scouring off the top, all of the salt has been removed, all the food particles were removed before that. We're gonna heat the surface back up until it gets pretty hot. And we're gonna put a really thin layer of vegetable oil on it. It ensures that there's no water anywhere on here, and it also sort of reseals it and prevents anything from getting in there to rust. All right, so now the griddle is cleaned and is hot. We're just gonna put a little bit of oil on it and brush a thin layer across the whole thing. We've got this scraping tool which will kind of allow us to grease and reseason this whole thing, and then once we get a layer on the whole griddle top, we'll just let it smoke for a minute, and that'll pretty much be it. You don't want any like puddles of oil on anything. You really wanted whatever, passing a paper towel over it leaves behind. That would be kind of the max you'd want to put. If you put too much oil on and then you store it, it can go bad, it can go rancid. You could let it smoke for, 30 seconds or a minute, and then that's it.
Okay, since Mr. Bame was the featured geezer, I guess I'll do the Scoutmaster Minute. Start that timer. I want to talk about change. Change is going to happen. It's inevitable. You can cry, you can complain about it, or you can accept and embrace it. And what better example than Camp Olmsted? 70 years ago, we would not have been able to have this beautiful weekend on this beautiful reservoir because the reservoir didn't exist. In fact, it was a town. It was just a valley with the Agony River running through it. They built a hydroelectric dam on the river, and they flooded this whole valley. In fact, the cabin where we stayed used to be the highest point in camp. Now it's the lowest point in camp. What did Camp Olmsted do? Did they close? Did they cry? Did they take their ball and go home? No. They said, okay, we've been dealt an annoying hand of cards. So they decided to accept change, and now they have a beautiful waterfront and a very successful aquatics program, all because they accepted change and they embraced it. And that's how it went. And that's my advice to you this month. Expect change and accept change. I beat your time, Mr. Bame.